How are you? Excited once again to be right here with you, giving you another interesting content right here on EstiQ Media website. Okay, so go on YouTube and type EstiQ Media and subscribe. That is EstiQ Media, EstiQ Media. Click on it, you'll see some videos that we've uploaded right on there, and then subscribe. Now, the idea of subscribing is whenever any content comes up, you immediately get notified and you can follow up with the content. We're also on Spotify. So go to EstiQ Media Podcast on Spotify, EstiQ Media Podcast on Spotify, and subscribe as well so you easily get up on any podcast that comes up right on that particular application. And it also goes for the website too, www.estiqmedia.com. There we can have a conversation. You can send an email. All right, and once you're able to send an email, we can talk on any of your needs as regards to what EstiQ Media Consult can do for you. Now, today we want to look at the final word classification we started off a few days ago, and this time around they're actually called homophones. You know, we've talked about homographs, we've talked about homonyms, and this time around we're talking about the homophones. Now, here is the thing. Remember, or if you can recall, when I was talking the last time, I said we need to be careful when we are using this word classifications, otherwise we can easily get confused, especially for the fact that they seem to be in similar pattern with other word classes that we discussed earlier. Now, a homophone is a word pronounced like another, but it has a different meaning and in some cases a different spelling. All right, let me take that again. It is important for us to understand the word homophone, and so we don't get confused with that terminology. A homophone is a word that actually sounds, or rather pronounced like another, but has a totally different meaning. So you need to get that. And in some cases, a different spelling. Okay, so homophones share the same spelling, but then we call them homonyms sometimes. So for a homonym, they may have the same spelling, but they're pronounced differently depending on the context that a particular word is being used. So that is important for us to take note of the definition of a homophone. Now that we are able to define what a homophone is, let's take a few examples of them. All right, for in English language, all right, there are a lot of words, and with 2 homophones, and almost 90 words that have 3 homophones. That is the truth. Some words have more. In fact, one word can have 7 homophones, and what that means is they're spelled differently, but they sound alike. But they have different meanings. So they sound alike, spelled differently in some instances, all right, but totally different meanings. That's what a homophone is. They mean different things, sound alike in some instances, spelled differently in some instances, but they have a same sound pattern. So that's why I said earlier that we need to be careful when we use this word classification so we do not get confused. For example, there, THERE, versus there, THEIR, versus they are. So you can say, take that cup there. It's theirs. Is theirs. THEIR, THERE. You can see how the spelling is, and you can also hear the pronunciation, right? Okay, so let's take another one that is very common that I feel we can all relate to. TO, TOO, TWO. TO, TOO, and TWO. Two, 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 two. Okay, where is she going to? You two. That's number 2. Do you see that? That's why I told you that sometimes these classifications can be very confusing, that even word geeks too find it very difficult to comprehend. But of course, when you learn some of these things, you're able to pull through, you're able to merge it, you're able to synergize yourself with it. Another thing for us to look at is LEAD, LED, lead versus led. There are some contexts that LEAD will sound like LED. He led us there. He led us there. Lead and led. So it's almost like you're leading present tense, led past tense. But they are homophones. All right, here versus, that is HEAR versus HERE. H-E-A-R versus H-E-R-E. Can you hear him? It's here. Here meaning, can you listen? Do you listen? Can you hear what he's saying? Can you hear that sound? Do you hear that? Or bring the cup here. I want the cup placed here. These are homophones. They're spelled differently, but they sound alike and have totally different meanings too. That's the honest truth. C, S-E-A, S-E-E. They sound alike, but they mean different things and they're spelled differently. I want to see you. I need to see my child. I need to go see mama. I need to go see papa. They're at sea. I heard they all fell into the water at sea. It's a large sea. It's so huge. I saw a very big ship at a very large sea. Of course, the sea naturally is large. It's beyond the river. So S-E-A, S-E-E. You see that? Interestingly too, we will get there. All right. Now, F-L-O-W-E-R. All right. F-L-O-U-R. Spelled differently, mean different things, sound alike. Flower, 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 flower. I would love to get you a bouquet of flowers. Bring the flour. We need to make some donut. I want to make a cake. So, F-L-O-W-E-R is a plant which has different variants. F-L-O-U-R is substance used to make dough, used to make bread, used to make cake. Sound alike, spelled differently, and mean different things. So those are definitely what are referred to as word classifications in homophones. Exactly. And I do not want you to get confused. Over time, we'll try as much as possible to look into these examples, take a different look into it, and we'll get ourselves, prepared. We were able to understand pseudo-homophones, pseudo-homonyms, pseudo-homographs. I'm telling you, even I will tell you, I had to adequately study these things so one understands, especially when you teach people and when you have to address people. Like I told you in the first series, I said that as communicators and creators, as content creators, it's important for us to read and research so that you definitely are teaching what is right or saying what is right, and that you can never tell the kind of knowledge you're imparting or how people are actually looking forward to what you are saying. So on the EstiQ Media website, this is what we'll try to do as often as we can. So you can actually read further along. You can read further into homophones and understand what they mean. Check out the other series as well that we talked about. That is the homograph, the homonym, and now the homophone on YouTube. EstiQ Media, EstiQ. All right, MEDIA on YouTube. And of course on the website, www.estiqmedia.com. And we are also on Spotify, EstiQ Media Podcast on Spotify. All of that, everything is all uploaded there, the audio and the visual. You just get to have it as you want it. So next time we're going to try and talk about something quite different from, will I call it word classifications or whatever. We're going to go into something different, but this time around we will just have to describe it so that when I'm talking about it, possibly you can see the picture that I'm trying to paint by my words, and basically I'm trying to buttress the scenario or the kind of picture I'm creating for you to see and understand what I'm trying to paint or what I'm trying to talk about with my expressions. I think that's the best way to go about it. I really, really hope that we're able to make this such a huge deal and work together to make it a successful platform where there is interaction, and any word that it is or classifications you don't understand or anything that is confusing to you at all, you can actually put up a comment on YouTube right on there and I'll get back to you, or you can send email to the website www.estiqmedia.com. I'll definitely respond to you, or even on Spotify you can just reach out. Definitely we can work together on that. All right, I'm excited to do this with you all the time, and we're going to be consistent with it this time. Trust me, 2023 is not going to be like it used to be. It's going to be different, more intentional, and more purposeful. Do have yourself an amazing day.